Hello again, welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. How are you doing today? This is going to be a reading for, let's see who we got going. We're going to do Aquarius, yeah, and then we're going to move on to Gemini for the rest of the readings for today. Thanks so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And if you would like to continue to receive updates from this channel, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also ding that notification bell and make it a nice, solid, healthy black. So that way you don't miss out on the future updates. So we're going to also look into, let's see. We're going to look into some of the issues concerning just the general aspects of your life for this month of May. We're also going to take a look at, I guess this is a period of about 4 to 6 weeks, but I would just say for the month of May in general. Also, if you like personal reading, please be sure to reach out at the information in the description box below, which I have now updated because I made a complete gaffe on my end and misspelt the email address. So we're going to try to atone for that a little bit today by giving a proper reading and also double checking all the posts from here on out. And I do apologize for that, but now we're just going to move on. I guess also, please also be aware of scammers. You know how they act, you know how they operate. Just please avoid them like the plague. Now, let's get on. Aquarius, you're up. So as I shuffle this, we talk a little bit about some of the aspects that have taken place recently. We did have, aspects between Jupiter and Uranus, which allowed a lot of people to start seeing some breakthroughs in, I guess, aspects of their finances and aspects of their daily life, or mundane aspects, I would suppose. And then also we did have a new moon in Taurus, which is kind of clearing the way for people to become a bit more stable, grounded, and also, I guess a bit more in touch with terra firma. Adding a lot of that pentacle energy to the equation. And this is helping people to kind of become a bit more relaxed, considering how damaging April was, traumatic in some ways. If you've experienced anything like that, where April was just kind of a bit of a, I'm going to try to use happy words right now, but, April was just challenging. It was just a bit of a nightmare. And a lot of people felt that. A lot of people have also commented across the tarot community on how it affected them. So that said, we're just going to get into this. We'll see exactly what we come up with for Aquarius for the month of May onwards. Okay. All right, Aquarius. Sun and rising. What's coming up in general for the month of May? On cards. It's coming for the month of May for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. It's coming up for Aquarius for the month of May, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. General messages. General messages for the month of May. Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, Aquarius. Two more shuffles. So Aquarius, you've had this saga going on in your life. I think also the Librans have as well, where you're connected to a very unscrupulous energy from the past. That you have to let go of. I understand that Aquarians are a bit fixed signs, but it's a mental battle as well, trying to get rid of negative forces within our life that are taking up space and not allowing for the new to come in. So we're going to see what we see today. Hopefully we've got a good reading in, and let's rock. Current energy, Aquarius. And there it is. Recent past. challenge. There we go. Recent past. Okay, near future. Right. Okay. What's known? What's at the core? A lot of cards just fell out there. And the outcome and the advice. Outcome. What's the outcome for Aquarius? Clarify it. Right, and the advice. All right, there we go. Now, bottom of the deck, we have 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. It's 5 of Leviathans for this particular card in this deck. And we are using the Steampunk Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. Shuffles really well, like butter. And more importantly, the artwork is just absolutely astounding. It's something I've always enjoyed watching or looking at, when I do these shuffles. So what we see 5 Pentacles in the reverse at the bottom. What it indicates is that you're coming out of a period of isolation, a period of feeling left out in the cold, and overall tackling those abandonment issues, which is a good thing for your life. And I think by addressing that dark path or that dark history within you, you're able to finally come and see the light. This will oftentimes have you face your shadow self by people who have abandoned you in the past. And I think that, many times it makes it difficult to form relationships in the future because you're constantly worried about the abandonment from those previous entanglements or ties. And we see that here because we do have the Devil, which is Cyborg in this deck in the reverse. And the challenge for this is the 2 of Wands, which is making the decision and trying to come to terms with the path that you're trying to clear next. So what we have here, when we have this, the Devil reverse, that is coming out of those toxic negative traits, unbinding yourself from the black box of Saturn, which keeps you in restrictions, and that prevents you from making the progress that you need into the Tower, which is actually the card that comes after the Devil, which is in your advice. So interestingly enough, the advice that you're being given for this reading is actually it's to break free. And I'm hearing Queens, got to break free for some reason. I'm not going to sing the song right now, but it's popping into my head because I think that is precisely what you're trying to do with your life at this particular moment. And you're deciding on that, but I think the decision is the difficult part about that. This 2 of Wands here indicates that you're not really sure exactly how to break free. As though I hear you singing that song in your head, but it's not actually happening. It's almost like you have this hyper strategy, if this is a word, please call me out on this, this overthinking of the strategy, and trying to really understand how your life is going to look after breaking free from this, kind of confining, restrictive place. This could be a workplace situation. This could be a relationship. I'm going to pull a clarifying card just to see exactly what it is. What does this relate to? What does the Devil reverse relate to? What does the Devil reverse relate to? Let's see here. So it is the Fool, and that tells us a little bit more that you want to break free. So tell me more about the Devil reverse. What situation does this entail? What situation does this entail? Spirit. Okay, So 7 of swords reversed, and okay, so we get the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords reversed, and the Apprentice or the Fool. So what we're seeing here in this reading is that you want to break free from a situation where there has been a third party situation, and there has been some admissions of guilt in this third party situation. So I would see this as either someone has had a bout of infidelity, and I say that word very lightly, because when you decide to have a relationship with someone and then you are entangled in a third party situation, it is never good, and it always ends messy, typically. For you, as the Aquarian, if you have been doing the third partying, do consider how that action affects other people, and if you have received that action, or if you have been on the opposite end of that situation, then of course, my condolences to you, because it's never really a good thing to have experienced. So what we have here, we sometimes look at the Two of Wands as having 2 options or 2 decisions to make. So if, again, this involves a third party situation, you need to decide who you're going to choose, and then also you have to consider whether or not that will choose you back. So this is a bit of a strange situation. Now I'm hearing the song Torn Between Two Lovers. Feeling like the fool because loving you both is breaking all the rules. I have a very sick, silly jukebox playing in my head right now, but it's there, and I guess it's here to guide me throughout the reading. But that said, we're looking at the past. We have the regeneration machine, which is judgment, in the reverse. And I don't know exactly what you were trying to avoid giving a second chance. We'll find out a little bit more. Clarify the regeneration machine. Clarify the regeneration machine. 4 of Wands. So yeah, it was a home or domestic life that you are giving up. So if you were involved in a relationship where there was a third party situation in the past, now you said, okay, this is not something I want to repeat. I'm releasing myself from this, and I'm making a break for it, so that way I can kind of have my own independence back. And plus, I don't want to have to experience this again, because this has been a very painful situation. Otherwise, if you're on the other end of that, you don't want to subject anyone to that ever again. And when we look at these 2 cards, we see almost like a it's almost like, despite how stable the 4 of Wands can appear, because it's a celebration, but it's also a home, or it's like the movement into a home and domestic lifestyle. And I think that is one of the things that you're trying to break away from, because for you, maybe this is not the lifestyle for you. Maybe you're more of a free spirit. Aquarians typically are, but they can be very faithful and loyal if they're given enough freedom to roam. Similar to the Sagittarians, but I would say to a different extent. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what caused the third party situation. We can find out a little bit more. What caused the third party situation? What caused the third party situation? What caused the third party situation? There we go. Come on up. So it's the 4 of Cups, and I'm getting in my head boredom, stagnation. Normally in the 4 of Cups, We have a person who has got Three of Cups in front of them. It's the same Three of Cups that's in the Five of Cups. But in the Four of Cups, we have another offer that's presented to us, and it's just simply rejected. Maybe the person has drank too much. Maybe the person is just kind of a bit tired of the party lifestyle. Or they're just tired of being offered the same thing over and over again. Oh, God, idiots outside. Anyways, we look at the Four of Cups and we see that it's just kind of bland, shining light on the music it's an organ this guy's playing. It's just kind of shining a light on the music this person is making all by themselves. And that almost indicates to me that you feel most creative and most alive when you're actually doing your own thing. And for some reason, I'm getting this image in my head of a person who did the loyalty, did the faith, did the fidelity, was faithful to the partner. And then all of a sudden there becomes a breakdown. There's a breakdown in the relationship and one of the partners strays. Then the other partner strays, or then things become a bit more difficult in communication. And then we have, people experimenting with different types of things like open relationships or, breaks from a relationship. Because after the Four of Cups comes the Five of Cups. And that's a disappointment. Still in this card, in the Four of Cups, the person is not looking at any of them. And then in the Five of Cups, they're focused and fixated on those Three of Cups when they have two behind them. So it's important to kind of understand you don't know what you've got until it's gone. I don't know why that phrase pops into my head, but one or both of you in the relationship have pretty much, taken that for granted. And now you're kind of left with the disintegration of the relationship itself. What I do see here in the future is kind of that, because you have the Ten of Pentacles followed by the Nine of Pentacles. And it's almost like you're giving up the solid, stable relationship in your life so that way you can become more independent on your own. And the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles relates to the material world. It's not per se the cups that are necessarily used to sustain the happiness and the joy in a relationship. Rather, this is you're on your own, you're doing your own thing. You may or may not be looking for a relationship, but the main focus for you right now is your coin, your pentacles, and building that so that you can have a sense of independence throughout all of this. And I think for you that's one of the more empowering things that allows you to reconnect with yourself. Because in the past year you had Wands, Cups, and then Regeneration Machine is also a Cups card. It's in a sense, it's a water-based card. It's based on Scorpio. Some people would say Sagittarius. It just depends on what school of thought you think of. In the future, coming into this, you have this Ten of Pentacles reverse. Ten of Pentacles is also the exterior. It's the happy family exterior. It doesn't always indicate a very happy or healthy relationship, but at least it looks really nice to other people. You got a nice house together. You've got, children. You have all of these, shared assets, large bank account, but you're giving that all up, or it's coming to an end. And you're moving off of the Nine of Pentacles because now you've probably gotten what you want. Now you're kind of leaving this, you're exiting the scene. So I don't know if you've gone through a divorce or if you've gone through a separation or a breakup, then that is indicating that, you're taking a little bit of that financial abundance with you through a settlement. Because I do see in the end, the Brazen Head, which is also the Justice card, which is a Libran card. And I notice here that with this Libran card, it can indicate the final judgment in a in a settlement. So you did have kind of judgment here in the past. Maybe the judgment was delayed and now you're finally actually receiving the output from it. And maybe the case has taken a little bit of time to resolve itself due to the fact that they needed to find more information or to substantiate more evidence within the divorce filings. It does seem like in the end you are getting what you want, or at least getting enough assistance to help you out so that when you separate, you'll be able to move forward with your life with a little less worry in the financial department, and that should help you out. What I see here, at the core of all of this, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and then two additional cards came out, the Messenger of the Page of Cups and the Hermit. So normally this is a time in a period of deep introspection for the month of May. So for you, at the core of what you're trying to accomplish is going in and trying to gain the answers that you need in order to make this endeavor a success. In order for you to break free, you need to kind of know where you're going next. And I guess that's what comes from the Two of Wands here. And in this Two of Wands, you're giving yourself the opportunity to kind of decide which path you're going to take. Are you going to move back in with family? Are you going to travel abroad? Are you going to go to, I guess, party and live it up? Are you going to get back into a relationship? These are things that you're trying to consider and weigh the pros and cons of, because you don't want to just sit still and say, okay, I'm out of this relationship. What do I do next? I wait. You don't want to wait. I get with this Hermit and the Page of Cups reverse, I see you reflecting on the negativity in the relationship in a way. I think that this gives me a little bit of Six of Cup vibes, and for you, it's almost like a stoic approach to relationships moving forward. You've already experienced what not to do or what not to have in a relationship. Now, what you're trying to do is be a lot less giving with your heart. Maybe you did it in the past, and now you're just saying to yourself, okay, wait a minute, let's take a step back from all of this, so that way we can kind of move and proceed with a bit more caution. And I see you weighing that with this Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit together. It's a period and a time of deep reflection. And I also see what's known here is the Knight of Pentacles. So what you're doing is you're moving in your love life a lot more slowly than you would have normally moved in the past. And I think that that's very important, because you want to kind of make sure you don't cock it up next time with the next relationship that you're in. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. 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 Okay. And here we have the Spirit Gauge. This also came out for Libra. So, well, I think no, it did not go. Maybe it did come out for Libra. Go back and check the most recent air signs readings. So we have Knight of Pentacles and Spirit Gauge, which is Temperance. So this is Sagittarius's card. What I see here is that you're slowly trying to understand what works best for you. Temperance, or the Spirit Gauge, is a combination of two energies, as you can see here, being alchemically created or experimented with in this card, and also in the original Rider-Waite, which indicates the Archangel Gabriel with the large Delta sign on its chest, creating that change and that alchemic process between two opposing forces. So I see you slowly doing that with your life to try to get a footing. It's almost like a person who's walking blindly in the dark, and they're trying to get their foot in the right spot. Feel around this, this place that they find themselves in now. And for you, that could be a struggle, but it could also be a great way for you to explore yourself. Because what I see here in the future, you have the time machine, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and you have Justice, that's the Brazen Head. So if you've dealt with a very difficult love life or love relationship, it almost seems like things will be balancing themselves off and turning in your favor. It's important for you to do this yourself and be consciously aware of how you can become a bit more balanced in your love life relationships, preventing yourself from giving too much or taking too much, or doing things perhaps that don't operate in your best interest, or allowing people to do that to you. Now you're working and you're experimenting with kind of a boundaries process that allows you to have a more healthy and fulfilling sense of happiness in your life, and a happier and healthier sense of relationships and equal give and take. We have as your advice the Tower, but we also, let's clarify that. Okay, clarify that again. Okay, so you have two cards. You have Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Tower. I see here, with this Tower card, the advice, you're going to have to rebuild your life. Normally with the Tower card, you have, a tower, of course, hence the Tower card, but also you have two people who have been ejected from the tower after it's struck by lightning, knocking the crown off of the top of the tower, and destroying everything down to the foundation. So two people have been thrown out of it, one willingly, and the other one not by choice. And I think that you're this willing person. You're the person that said, okay, it's time to bail. And you have done so. And doing this as the tower crumbles and burns, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a new foundation and a new footing in life, so that way you can give yourself a new solid foundation for yourself. This normally comes after the Devil card, which you had as your main card, and your advice now is to let that tower burn, because the devil has kind of pervaded your life for a bit too long, whether that was through yourself or through someone else, your partner, whatnot. And now, with this Tower card, I see you following up on the energy that succeeds the devil. And in order to uproot that devil energy, that tower needs to come in. And that's precisely what you're probably experiencing at the moment. If you hold on to something for too long, that tower is destroyed, because that's where we feel comfortable and safe, even though it's restrictive. So you think about, this was something someone else was mentioning. It may have been Scorched Earth Tarot or whatnot. When we have the devil, and when we have the tower, the devil is kind of like a restrictive energy, but it's because people choose to be there. And then with the tower is kind of like a prison. And yes, you have relative freedom, but you don't get a chance to see the outside world. And furthermore, with the Tower card, people have become too comfortable in that environment. And it's time to break out of prison with this card. The reason why the tower follows the devil is because it is there to destroy those restrictions that have pervaded your life for far too long. And it normally wakes you up with a very powerful message, or a very upsetting and disruptive dynamic in your life. So you could suddenly lose a job, you can get a divorce, you can, lose all of your money, you can sometimes even have just like an epiphany that wakes you up and makes you realize, hey, this is not what I want to deal with in life. However it comes, it is sudden, disruptive, and it's not like the death card, which is very slow, gradual process. However, you have the Three of Wands and then the Eight of Wands. 3 plus 8 is 11. That's 2 of Wands. Guess what your challenge is? That is your challenge for the middle of the card. So your advice is actually pointing back to this 2 of Wands. You have to choose wisely. You can either wait for your new life to come in, or you can take decisive action with the 8 of Wands. And that's really up to you. You get the chance to pour this foundation for your new life. And I think it's important for you to determine what that blueprint looks like. Before we can pour the first bit of tarmac or cement in a foundation in order to have a sturdy house, which is what your energy was here. Maybe your poles fell over in the past because you didn't have a blueprint. And now what you're doing is you're moving into a period in which you do have the right schematics so that you can build a sturdier foundation for your life. It's going to be a balancing act between quick action and waiting patiently. And that can be a very challenging aspect. But with this, we have also some interesting messages here as well. 3 plus 8 is 11. Yep, that's good maths, hopefully, for the weekend. Yeah. We have 11, and then this is the 11-11 card, the 4 of Wands. So what I see you doing is, again, making that new foundation, one that does not include this devil in the house. And so hopefully, with whatever you choose to do, make sure that you make your own master blueprint for that. And that way you will in turn have a healthier, happier future, even if you have to go it alone. That's it. Thanks again. This has been Aluminum Tower. If you like what you see here, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and ding the notification bell so that you can catch all the next updates from this channel. And also, I have corrected the information about getting in contact regarding any personal readings, so please feel free to do that. Hopefully it will work now, and if not, please send me a message. That way I know that I can maybe do something to correct that. That's pretty much it. Thanks so much, Aquarius, for joining today, and I hope you have a great weekend, and until then, love and light. Till next time.